I see you got an anti-DEI shirt on, so this is about to get good.
I hate to react to a reaction, but I had to. This video got a lot of views, so here we are.
I would say DEI stands for didn't earn it, but that's a separate issue.
Didn't earn it is rich coming from someone who supports Donald Trump, a man who had zero political experience, multiple business failures, and still became president.
Lots of people get into politics with zero political experience, especially if they've achieved a level of success in some other type of business. If you've successfully exhibited your executive experience in some other aspect of public life, people trust you. Barack Obama was a community organizer and a junior senator, and he became the president of the United States. What experience politically did he really have? According to your logic, Hillary Clinton was one of the more qualified political candidates, but people didn't like her or trust her. And you say Donald Trump has multiple failed businesses, like that's some type of pejorative, but you're completely ignoring the 500 successful businesses that he's had. Entrepreneurs fail sometimes, it's part of the game. But a few failed business ventures and hundreds of successful ones, a successful career spanning multiple decades, properties, prestigious properties all over the entire world, over 20,000 employees, $600 million in annual revenue, and a multi-billion-dollar empire. Pretty sure that's not business failure, but all right. How many businesses did Obama run? How many people did he employ? How many businesses did Hillary Clinton run? How many people did she employ? What political experience did AOC have? She was literally a bartender that got plucked out of obscurity like it was American Idol.
If merit were truly the standard, Trump wouldn't have even made it past the primaries.
No, in our republic, the will of the people is what determines the merit. There's a multitude of qualifications and processes that they need to go through to even get on the ballot and then ultimately get the nomination. Their merit is determined by the people, which is not the same way that merit is determined in other types of organizations. It's not like everybody at a company votes on who the CEO is going to be. You could say the board of directors or shareholders have a similar process, but it's not the same.
DEI is just about ensuring that qualified individuals from all backgrounds have equal opportunities.
No, it's about adjusting standards, requirements, and qualifications by decree to ensure equal outcomes. Forcing a board of directors at a company, for example, to have a female on the board of directors or a person of color or some other immutable characteristic is not about equal opportunity. It's about forcing equal outcome. And equal outcomes often come in the form of discriminating against other more qualified individuals that don't fit those immutable characteristics. America is the land of opportunity. That's why so many people come here. If every board of directors was just sexist and discriminating against highly qualified women that were more equipped to do a job than a man would, then they would be losing out on the potential to make that money, and some other corporation would scoop them up. A business or organization is incentivized to hire the most qualified candidate no matter what. If they decide to be sexist, some other corporation could scoop up that candidate and make more money as a result. Their sexism or racism would backfire on them, and they would lose money as a result. They are naturally and inherently incentivized to choose the best candidate for the job. Policies like this often seem empathetic, altruistic even, but they don't consider the real-world outcome.
It is not giving jobs to unqualified people. It's about removing systemic barriers that prevent capable individuals from advancing.
I don't like to speak in absolutes because certainly there is some validity to some of the things that you're saying. But where it goes too far is saying that those supposed systemic barriers are actually test scores, physical requirements, things like that for things like the fire department or the police station. There's multiple ways to solve complex problems, but to just say that everything is some systemic barrier that's created by some racist or some sexist completely misses the entire point. The issue is deeper, and a supposed solution like DEI isn't it. What it does is grant bureaucrats new powers to meddle in certain sectors by decree.
There was a study that found that white applicants with a criminal record were more likely to get callbacks than black applicants with no criminal history.
No, there was a study, guys. I guess that solves it. The study that's not named, that we don't know who conducted it, how many people it included, what factors did it take into consideration. I guess we should listen to the study that she doesn't name. There was a lot of studies in the beginning part of the 20th century that said that cigarettes were good, so next point.
That sounds a lot less like merit and a lot more like systemic bias.
People are biased inherently, and the world is getting better on its own. But it's not fair to just look at an outcome and state definitively that you know the cause. I bet if 100 men applied to work at Cosmopolitan magazine or 17 magazine or Vogue or something like that, that we might have a little bias in them hiring us. Is that discrimination? Is that systemic bias?
So Charlie, if you're worried about people not earning their positions, maybe start by looking at the top, because DEI isn't the problem, it's part of the solution.
I'm not going to completely dismiss your point because I understand the intent of what I think you're trying to achieve. If we took all the cars off the road, there would be no car accidents. I know it's a ridiculous point, but you understand what I'm saying. Everybody understands that there's problems, but they took it too far. lowering a test score or a proficiency test or a physical body requirement in order to get more people of these supposedly marginalized communities into these professions is not fair, and I would hope that you could at least concede that. I will concede that there is some middle ground, but to suggest that anybody who completely disagrees with these sweeping DEI policies plays into the discrimination or is sexist or is racist is where the whole argument completely falls apart and the negotiation stalls. We can agree on some things and disagree on others, but what we generally believe is that this is not the correct solution whole cloth. And with a complicated problem and a solution that affects the entire country, simply saying something digestible and easy to understand like DEI is bad, unfortunately is the only way to market it. I appreciate what you're trying to do, and I hope that you would concede or at least agree on some of these points. Because unfortunately, making granular individual points is a lot less digestible online and gets a lot less attention. Whereas saying, oh, you see this guy, he just wants more discrimination, that gets gobbled up. I believe many leftists have good intent, but I find that they will rarely dispute actual outcomes. That's my point. I hope this helps someone.